Welcome, everybody. John Zager, good morning. Good morning, good morning. 8:46 a.m., eastern slope of Colorado. I don't know what the temperature is, do I? I don't think so. Pretty cool. It's only supposed to get to, what did it say, 74 today. Winds are coming in, so maybe there's a change. I thought I saw something about Tuesday we might get a little rain. Last night we had gosh darn, there was a really black storm that came in out of Wyoming, crossed the border and came down and just skirted us. And we missed it by a mile or two, I guess. But I haven't heard the report this morning. I'm sure it did some damage somewhere. It did not look friendly. So got up early, did a fair amount of work. I'm still at home. Did a blog. That turned out good. Please go read it. jzager@blogspot.com. And thought I'd do a quick podcast. I don't think this is going to be a long one, but it's Sunday, right? So I got thinking, we talk about it in different podcasts, but do we really spend a whole podcast on it? And I kind of had some thoughts I wanted to share. And of course, the topic is gratitude. Gratitude is, how do they explain it? Thankfulness for what we haven't received yet. Right? So gratitude is, in a lot of cases, some cases, most cases, being thankful for things we haven't even received yet. Now, of course, gratitude is thankfulness for what we have received, of course. And that kind of goes without saying. But what I'm talking about is kind of, there's a lot of things that we want, that we need, that when we meditate, we send intentions out for, in hopes that they manifest, right? And what we're doing is, in order to enhance the probability of those things, possibly happening, we give thanks as if we've already received them. That's really critical. That's really critical. A lot of people, I'm not quite sure, understand that concept. But we need to be able to give thanks for things before we get them. That makes sense, doesn't it, you guys? I would think. As I'm talking, I'm fixing a little decaffeinated coffee for myself. I just heated up some hot water, and then I have some instant. But how many of you guys do that? Give thanks for what you have not yet received. I ask around. That's what I do, is research. And I talk to people. And that's kind of like a foreign concept. Oh, God, that was funny. It's kind of like a foreign concept to some people. What do you mean? What do you mean giving thanks for something I haven't gotten yet? You know, how Newtonian do you think I am anyway? So I'll go through that in a second. So the Newtonian model is exactly that, right? You know, cause and effect idea. I'm not going to do anything until I see it. What's that state down there they keep talking about like that? Is it Kansas, the show me state? Well, that's Newtonian. That's Newtonian physics, right? Oh, God, I didn't realize it was going to be funny. I thought this was going to be a serious kind of conversation. But a lot of people have to have it before they give thanks for it. I'm not all that sure that they have to have it before. They just don't even think in terms of giving thanks or having gratitude for something unless it's actually right in their hand, and then they go, "Oh yeah, boy, I'm really grateful for this." But it doesn't work that way, you guys. It doesn't work that way. You don't manifest anything unless you're thankful before you get it. In other words, what are the common ones? You know, if you're living in lack and you're looking for abundance or money, you know, Newtonian physics says, you know, when I receive the money, I'll be grateful. And the quantum model of physics says, I'm going to give thanks and gratitude for abundance before I even receive it. Good health. I don't know, say you have a disease or a sickness or an illness or a trauma or a diagnosis. You know, you're not going to get well and then give thanks for being well. It doesn't work that way. Now, there's a lot of people out there who believe, you know, well, when I get well, boy, will I be thankful. You're not ever going to get well that way. You know, getting well has to do with giving thanks and being grateful before you're well. Here's 43 years of clinical psychology when people would come in or get referred to me because they're sick. Can you envision yourself well? Can you see yourself well? Can you dream of yourself well? Can you think about yourself being well? And people usually would say, yeah, I can do that. I can see myself. What would you be doing? Well, I might be doing this and that and whatever. Well, how does that make you feel? I feel good. I feel thankful that I'm finally well. Do you have gratitude? Yeah, I have gratitude. Well, can you visualize yourself well and have gratitude now before it gets here? Never thought about it that way. Really? Never thought about it that way. So that's kind of what I heard for a lot of years, and that's how you manifest. That's how you get well. That's part of self-healing. That's part of healing. That's part of receiving, is having gratitude before what you want arrives. What happens to people? Peeps. What happens to peeps in general about life? And, you know, we're not always getting good stuff. Sometimes we get not so good stuff, right? Well, most people, let's say, just use the common stuff, they're sick. I wonder what this coffee tastes like. Well, it does taste like coffee. They're angry that they're sick. They're bitter, maybe, that they're sick. They're upset, frustrated, depressed, anxious that they're sick and not out doing fun things and being who they used to be. They are preoccupied and obsessed with thoughts of their illness, sickness, disease, trauma. And in turn, what happens? Well, they spend all of their time consumed on negative thought that redirects them back into more sickness and ill health and disease and trauma and diagnosis. I mean, you guys, this is Neuroscience 101. I'm sure you all know this stuff. I can't imagine anybody not knowing this stuff. When you're sick and ill, and if you think about being sick and ill, and, the whole poor me kind of thing, and like I had just gone through with the different chemical feelings you have, all that does is just attract more sickness and more ill health, right? So when you get sick, you understand you need to focus on what it looks like being well and have gratitude. Yes? Follow me on that? Let me try to say it a different way, and maybe I can do a better job at this. But if you're in lack, I don't know, we'll just use money, as an example of lack. Lack represents so many different things. I mean, but we'll just use money as the example this morning. And if you're in lack of money, and if you find yourself angry, disgruntled, upset, depressed, anxious, bitter, resentful, those kinds of chemical emotions, all that's going to do is produce more lack. And in this particular case, it'd be lack of money. All it's going to do is put you back into the cycle of not having enough, being in lack, and a money shortage. It's not going to fix anything because you're not doing anything. You're not having any thoughts to produce a different effect. All of your thoughts are producing the effect of more lack. So what's the opposite of that? You're in lack, you're financially not doing very well, you got all these chemical feelings going on, and what would happen if you were to visualize being in abundance? What would happen if you tried to see yourself, through meditation, and maybe just through walking meditation, driving meditation, who knows what. You're just putting your focus on what you would look like in abundance, as opposed to living a life of lack. So if you're trying to visualize yourself, see yourself, put yourself in the future with abundance, your thoughts now are going to attract abundance. Your thoughts now are going to attract maybe more finances, more money, more income, better job, better housing, better transportation. And in the process, remember, of trying to visualize the future in abundance, you're giving gratitude to having already received it. You're being thankful for the abundance before it arrives. So gratitude is a key element in making changes in your life. We mostly in these podcasts focus on health, right? But gratitude can branch out into every aspect of your life that may be non-existent at this point. And when you start visualizing the opposite, the healthy, the positive, all the good side of future self, and you have gratitude, you are thankful before it arrives. It's a key element. It's a big player. It's a key player in those changes happening. Because why? Because you've changed your thinking. You've changed your thoughts. Your thoughts got you sick. Your thoughts got your disease to upregulate. And your thoughts can get rid of your disease, and they can downregulate those diseased genes and upregulate new genes that just build the immune system, that resist cancer, that resist cardiovascular disease, that enhance your life, the quality of your life, the health of your life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I mean, this is science. This is not John Zager just on a Sunday morning drinking a cup of not-so-good coffee and yakking about gratitude. This is science, you guys. All I talk about is science. So, we need to find the importance of thankfulness and gratitude before we receive. Whatever we have going on negatively, whatever that happens to be, and as we visualize having already received what we're looking for, good health, we need to find the importance of being thankful and grateful for it before it receives. Those thoughts, those visualizations, those intentions, those meditations go out into the universe, right? Into the unified field, into a greater intelligence, into Source, into God. Into wholeness, into oneness. We're all energy in the universe. They go out into infinite possibilities that already exist. And they attract back what you are looking for. Remember yesterday we talked about the electromagnetic field. And that's how world peace can happen. And all of those people that we talked about yesterday doing their global meditation, we're feeling gratitude before it was received, before the peace was received. Before the wars were over, before the people stopped killing each other, before the people stopped arguing with each other. So, we need to have the gratitude, you guys. Sunday morning, this is a great morning to talk about gratitude. I'm glad I did. I think I explained it okay. I think I explained it very well. If you're sick out there somewhere and trying to make yourself believe that you're well, that's good. That's a positive step. You're starting to change your thinking. You're starting to visualize yourself as being well. And if it just doesn't seem to be working yet, add the element of gratitude. Be grateful and thankful before your healing arrives. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. See you. Bye.